And hello, everyone. Greg here with the Con Hour, and I have to say it's been a while since I've heard the music. Kind of missing it, but as y'all know, I've had a couple of. Let's just say I have the bad luck bug going with me right now. I think 2 weeks ago I had the chemo, which hit me really hard, and basically put me in bed for about 2 days. And then, of course, Monday. Well, I think y'all saw the pictures on my personal site saying I was in a car accident on Monday. So, woohoo! So after a little bit of stiffness and everything, I'm back. Let's just put it that way. Get rid of the bad luck bug. And hello, Julie. Yeah, we are here with Baycon, and we're going to be talking about their convention, which is going to be July 1st and 2nd at the Pasadena Conventions. I want to say Convention Center, but is it Convention Center or?
It's the Fairground and Convention Center. That's
Okay.
the full title when you look it up.
Ours is actually the Commerce Center, so its names get so confusing. It just, I guess it depends on if the city owns it or if it's.
Yeah. It's a building with 4 walls and a roof, so.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about your convention. This is your second year, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm. Yep, our second year. So our first year, we did really well. We did a 1-day convention last year, and we were like, okay, so we grew. Let's add an extra day. Let's move location, and we ended up at the Pasadena Convention Center. They're looking around for a convention to be, and they're like, come check us out. And it worked out with them, and that's where we're at right now. It was a process, though. I shopped around, and we ended up there, and I really like the Pasadena Convention Center. Shout out to Rebecca, the manager there. She works really well with us. She's very friendly, very flexible, and they provide a lot of stuff that other convention centers that I was looking at the time, or venue centers, weren't providing us. So it was really great that we got there, and I can see why other conventions have also started using that location too now.
What's the size of it?
I think it is 20,000 square feet. With the parking lot, I think it's 30 or 40,000 square feet, if I remember correctly.
You definitely have the space.
Yes.
So you'll have a lot of vendors there.
We have a total of 78 vendors. I believe that's our number.
And do you have room for more? Or?
No. So
okay.
we sold out probably around February, which is funny because the first year we did it, we had, I think, 25 vendors, and we sold out around February of last year too. So I think that's our sellout date. But there's a wait list. So, and I've had people come off of it and other people come on. So the wait list, it is good to get on it and be there, because it is possible, even with I think we're 24 days out. Even with it only 24 days out, it's still a good chance that you might end up being there. But we limited our number of vendors because you could fit more, but we wanted to build out spaces for panels, because the event center is huge inside, but sections of it break out into rooms with walls. And we're like, oh, well, then we'll do that for extra space for activities and events and other things, because I don't want just vendors and autographs. Yeah. I want a convention. I want to give someone a convention.
Very true. I know for us it's going to be hard because our space at the Commerce Center is actually 10,000 square feet. So we have very limited space. So
That's
I understand that completely.
yeah.
So
Uh, that's what our space was the first year was 10,000 square feet. So I understand. I understand you too.
yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, you got to figure out, and it's like, well, you don't want all the same vendor with only having so many
Hmm.
or so few, I should say. So
Yeah.
you really got to look through who all's there and say, okay, so we actually had an application process where people can sign up and then we go through it and say, okay, we want this, and this. So it's not all the same and some mixed
Yeah.
variety.
It's just, they're not all the same pop vendors selling pop figures.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But we had applications too, and we always look at them, review them, make sure we don't want the same vendors to coming too. So I understand that.
Like I said, it's a process, and a lot of people don't understand that process.
Oh, it is definitely a process. It is. Oh man, when we sell out and we sold out for vendor space, I was like, oh thank gosh, I don't have to check these applications every day, every week. I just changed our thing on our website saying now you're going to be put on a wait list. You will be notified when and if someone comes off. So I was so happy about that.
I think I think we've already sold out of our spots, and I think we have sold out of 24. And what I'm going to end up doing is going to go do a mock setup to really get a good layout, and then say, okay, we can open up for 5 more tables, or
Yeah. So the benefit of last year's convention was I did it at my job. So my job doubles up as a rental space on the weekend. So I
mm,
was able to map out my whole convention and then change it out if I didn't like how it was looking. I think I went through like 7 or 8 different layout rough drafts,
mm,
and I was able to take my measuring wheel, which I take that now with me everywhere, and measure out 10 by 10 spaces to make sure I could get the maximum amount of number of people in there. So this convention, I don't have the luxury of doing that, but I do plan on going probably within the next week or two to go and map out my layout because I do not want to put my layout and then get there, start building everything, like, oh, this is not going to work.
yeah.
I definitely want to plan that out and have it perfect or not perfect, but good.
Well, who do you have for guests coming this year?
So for guests coming this year, we have Chuck Huber, who came last year. He was a really big help. So last year, he was the only voice actor we got because I didn't think we'd get a voice actor being our first year and not knowing the industry very well, not knowing how all that works. So of course, when we are planning year two, we're like, hey Chuck, we would love for you to come out. You made us feel like a real convention last year when we had you. So we asked him to come back, and he did. And then we have Drew Breedlove, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He actually reached out to us, and that was new experience this year because last year I really didn't try that much with us being a new, smaller 1 day con. This year, having voice actors reach out or their agents reach out to us was a new experience. And he was like, he wanted to come, and I was like, sure. And he's like, I also asked the rest of my cast to come. So if you look at our list, we have a lot of Blue Lock voice actors from the anime Blue Lock, and so he was one, and he brought a lot of friends that sent us emails too. So we got him, we got Alex Home, we got Matthew. I'm so bad at last names. Elkins, I believe. Last names are on my Achilles heel. And with them, they also had friends that were either in the anime or it's in the same studio. So I think her name is Monty Leaner. So bad with these names. I hope they don't watch this. They're gonna get mad at me for mispronouncing their names. And then with her came, I think it's Lizette Diaz, another one, and both of them are actually in a show, The Great Jay Will Not Be Defeated, Great Jai Will Not Be Defeated. I believe that's the name of the anime. Um, so we got a lot from them. Really came through. Then I personally am a huge Digimon fan, and I was like, all right, who do I want to try to get to come to the convention so I can meet them, because I mean I'm a fan of anime too, so I want to also meet these people.
Mhm.
And I was like, I want to meet the voice actor of Ty, Joshua Seth, and so we got him. He's coming out, and then we had Allison Rosefield. She hit
Mhm.
us up and asked about coming out, and she's the voice actor of Nurse Joy, a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. She's done a couple of amazing things. Actually, I saw her last year at Delta H, which is funny. I was at her panel, and I would not know that a year later from now she'd be coming to my convention. So that's interesting. Then we got Thomas McKee. That guy, he's hilarious. I met him at a bunch of different conventions. He's a real great, very friendly, does amazing impressions.
Yes, I know Tom quite well.
Yes, Tom's he's an angel. Love him. We had to get him to come. I saw him, I think, at Delta H. No, at Chaotic Freedom Con last year. Delta H, and then at New Wave. And I was like, all right, Tom, we keep running into each other. What do we got to do to get you to come to our convention? And then we got Chris Patton. I think that's how you pronounce the last name. See, I'm horrible with these last names.
He just moved back to Houston. If I'm
He
correct.
did just move back to Houston. That's pretty funny. When we were working on getting him, I was like, oh, he's moving back to Houston. That's the best. If you live in Houston, you're a voice actor. Of course, I want to try to get you to come. But he's done a lot of different voices, from Moika, from Haikyuu, Dragon Ball Z. He was in the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Full Metal Alchemist as Greed. He's also in the now infamous dub for Ghost Stories, which if you've ever seen Ghost Stories, that's a funny anime to watch. That is hilarious. What's funny is I've also met him before back in 2008, but I don't think he remembers that. that was a long time ago.
Yes.
We got Phil Parson, who's the voice actor of Nappa. He's Kenny in Attack on Titan. He's a couple other voices too. We got him coming. It was really neat to get him. I love Dragon Ball Z. Who doesn't love Nappa? You know, that's a really good one too. We have Jesse Pinnick. Jesse Pinnick. There we go. I knew I could read names. He's coming. He also came from the Blue Lock guys too, actually. And then I think last we have Larry Brantley. And what's really great about him, was really fun about him, was when I was on the phone with his agent, and he was like, "Oh, he's done a lot of stuff. He's like listed One Piece, because he's done One Piece. He's done My Hero Academia is his big one. He plays what's his name? Oh, it's the lizard. I can't think of his name. I'm drawing a blank right now. But he plays all these amazing Spinner. He plays all these amazing voices. Oh, that's cool. I was like, that's neat. And he's like, also, he started his career a long time ago. He was, and this is the agent. He's underselling this to me. He's like, and he plays a Wishbone. He plays a Wishbone. I was like, you mean? Wait, I was like, he plays Wishbone? He's like, oh, you heard of it? I was like, of course I've heard of it. That's my childhood. I was like, yeah, we want him. So I was like, what? Yeah, give me him. I want the voice of Wishbone to be at my convention, which is the greatest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let's get him. So those are all of our voice actors coming, which there's great. There's like 14 of them. It's going to be a really great show with all of them being there.
Oh, for sure. And you definitely have some good names, and I look forward to meeting some of the newer ones that I haven't met yet.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like I said, Chuck Huber, I consider him a good friend. Love him to death. He's great at shows. He's great to talk to, and love his panels.
Yes.
If you have not seen any of his panels, you need to go to his panel.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe he does one that's more for adults than it is for kids too.
Yeah, he does.
So great person there.
Mm-hmm.
And look forward to meeting Chris Patton. I do want to meet him.
Yeah. I do want to meet him again. I'm definitely going to tell him I met him before, and I don't think he'll remember it. So
now, I noticed that about a week ago you started talking about your cosplay contest and having people sign up.
Yes, yes. So we started our online application for our cosplay contest because we want to do registration for that now, so we can get that out of the way. Because we have, I think, like 5 or 6 different categories. We definitely upgraded our cosplay contest from last year. If anybody who came last year, it was really only like 3 categories. It was our first time ever, and also my first time ever doing anything with cosplay contests. With all the times I've been to conventions and done stuff with conventions, I've hosted my own panels, I've done all these different things. I've never done the cosplay contest. So I really reached out last year to my cosplay guests at the time to help me figure out how to do this and how to put it together. And through that, we got Lynn, who's one of my guest cosplayers last year, and now this year they've stepped up and become the cosplay coordinator. So all the cosplay guests we've gotten, all the cosplay rules and the contest, all that is all thanks to Lynn. I owe them a lot because like I said, I had very few experience in that one. But we have a skit category. We have kids ages 12 and under, novice, intermediate, and masters, exhibitors. We have this, one, two, three, four, five, six different categories. The space is limited. That's why there's a pre-registration for it. I think if we do, we'll probably have some space for some walk-ons. You always have people people register late, last minute. I always tell people, I was like, anime people are last minute. They're last minute. They'll wait for everything, and they're, oh yeah, I forgot I was gonna go do this, and now I'll go sign up. So we have them, and we have a great category for that. So,
And sponsors, got to get your sponsors in.
oh, of course, gotta get my sponsor. So we actually have 2 sponsors. We have ACU of Texas, Associated Credit Union, and they are actually sponsoring our backdrop experience, which we have a backdrop. I just got that in actually a few days ago. So where you can take photos and stuff and have a nice, it's really great with their logo and our logo. We partnered with them to do that. And then we got with another local apparel brand called Spiff, and they made our lanyards, and they've been really great to do that. And that's really all my sponsors I got. I'm still looking for sponsors. You can never not stop looking for sponsors.
No.
I'll take sponsors the day of.
Want to sponsor us? Okay.
Done. A lot of this is friends and family helping me put this on together. So we also have a volunteer application too, which we're still taking volunteers. And same as sponsors, I'll take volunteers all the way till day of too. In line, I'm like, hey, you want a free ticket? Come work 4 hours for us. Done. So if you want more than just being an attendee at a convention, volunteering is great. It's always a fun way to see the back door to everything, see how everything is running and how everything goes. I think that's also a great way. And so we have that open, and the minimum amount we ask for you to do stuff for us is 4 hours. And now there is an option to be there and do stuff for the 2 days, even a secret third option of being there for Friday too, which is a setup day for us. But I do not ask anybody to do that. But we've got a lot of volunteers who are like, yeah, I'll do that. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought more volunteers would just do the 4 hours, but we have some really dedicated volunteers from last year coming back, and then we have some new ones from this year too.
It's also, like you said, a great way to learn the insides, to do the setup, to know about the guests. And let's see, Carmen Fisher, have you volunteered for this con? So that's more for you. I don't know.
Well, it's not announced yet, but what are you doing, Greg? July 1st and 2nd.
I know what I'm doing. I'm going to actually be there.
Yes, you are.
Yes. But I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be doing videos. I'm going to be doing media, interviewing people like I did at Comic Palooza. I actually, when I get down and dirty, I will work a convention like you've never seen before. Nothing like, I like interviewing the artists too, and some of the vendors. I don't know if you have authors that are going to be there.
I actually do have, I think, one author who is selling their there might be two. I might be thinking of two, but there's definitely one who's selling their manga. They've made their own manga, and they will be selling it there. I think it's I can't remember the name, Blue something, but they will be there selling their manga. I actually think one of the voice actors. I don't remember if they have a book or two they're selling too. Technically, they're an author, so I don't. But I definitely do have one vendor who is selling a book, selling their own manga.
But yeah, it not only brings attention to like your show, but it brings attention to them who's at your show. And if anybody's watching, they can say, "Hey, you know what? That's right down the road. Let me go check it out."
Yeah, which is great because I wouldn't be able to have a convention without the vendors, without the voice actors, without the volunteers. I wouldn't be able to put it on and do it without all of them. So it's great to put some spotlight on them and have them talk and get their business to grow, because that's what we're really there. We're really there to help each other.
Believe it or not, though, I've actually gone to conventions where I've had several vendors and artists that have paid for tables that just, I don't know if the camera's shy or they just won't do it. And it's like,
it's free advertising.
It's free advertisement. And it's posted on our Facebook page. And a lot of time it does take me a while to get stuff and go back through it and get it recorded, but I will put it on YouTube. So it will also be on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they're permanent unless I delete the shows. So it's permanent there.
Yeah.
And I have not been told by anyone that I have to take down a show yet.
That's good. That's good.
Considering some of the language that we all use on the show every so often.
That's even better.
But I do have to put not for children. Oh, I mean, we can get wild on this show occasionally.
That's interesting. I think I've been on here once before when you were doing with New Wave, and I forget who else was on that one. And we seemed pretty tamed at that time. So,
oh, Amy and I are like brother and sister. And we will have our moments where we will just start cutting on each other left and right. And I mean, the curse words just start going.
I get it. I have a sister, trust me.
And it's really what it is. And it's fun. I mean, we do it jokingly and kiddingly, but we've actually had one person ask us if we scripted all this. And it's like, no, we don't script. Anything that comes out on this show is live, and we never know.
Yeah. If this was scripted, I would have been able to pronounce my voice actors' last names right.
And it's like, nope. And we do have our rabbit hole moments where we just chit chat and BS. And like I said, Comic Palooza was the last convention that we did. I think I did about 7 or 8 interviews. And
okay.
I had a panel there, which was actually recorded with Ming Chen. He was on that panel.
Okay.
Chris, oh God, I can't talk about last names. But I do know that this is his podcast, 10 Drink Minimum. So, yeah, I mean, it was a fun time. And I enjoy like I said, I enjoy the interviews. Yeah. I enjoy it. And I even told Facebook where to go on one of the interviews. I was using my phone, which I don't normally use the phone, but I certainly use my phone now. And I turned it sideways, and it said, "You can't do that." Oh, the hell I can't, Facebook.
Yeah, actually, we were at Comic Palooza, not as a guest or anything. We were there walking around, handing out flyers and buttons and stickers to promote our convention. I do a lot of guerrilla marketing. I will... Sometimes I'll ask to go to a convention and be like, hey, can I set up a table? I don't typically like tables as much. I like walking around and talking and meeting them. I don't like people coming up to us because it's like I'm trying to force them to come over here when I could just walk up to them and give them the go-to scripted line, which is, do you like anime? If they're at a convention, there's like a good chance they do like anime. And
I was going to
we,
say
we
I didn't see you there, but
yeah,
I ran it.
I think it was
It's a big
huge.
convention.
Yeah.
But I did run across Houston Horror Film Fest.
Okay.
So, I mean, you never know who you're going to run into.
Yeah. Which is, I think I was standing next to the panel because there was it wasn't being used at the time, but there was a panel set up for podcasts, and so I don't know if that was where you ended up doing your panel at later on, but it was there was one over there, and I was like, oh, that's neat, because the whole time I was like, where do they do their panel stuff at? And I didn't realize a lot of it was inside the huge vendor room. That I did not see everything. I know that. I know I did not walk down every aisle and see everything at that convention.
I did. including the cars. And if you have not seen yet, I actually have the video of all the cars that is on our TikTok.
Oh, nice.
So I have all the cars on our TikTok. So they can check that out. Actually, our panel was on the third floor.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they actually had a third floor where they had other panels going on too.
Speaking of cars, we'll also have cars at our convention too. Not as many as them. They had a ton of different vehicles.
They had a
But
ton.
we have a car group called Xeron. I think that's how you pronounce it. I really should ask these people in person how to pronounce their stuff. But it's on our website. They're an Atashi car group. They have their vehicles are wrapped and stuff. And actually they're growing more, because when I got them, I think there was only 2 of them coming. They're like, oh yeah, well they're a group, but only 2 could come. And they're like, oh no, guess what? We grew some more, and we have more people out in that area, because I think they're from San Antonio. I'm not quite sure yet, but then they had a few more join in, and so there. If you're looking to join a car group or want to come out, I would say reach them out, because it's really great. More the merrier.
There's so many different car groups
There
now.
is.
It's not even funny. I know there's one here in Houston because one of the owners actually works at the VA here in Houston.
Okay. Yeah,
And
there's a lot.
I think one guy lives in Magnolia who has the vehicle from oh god, Supernatural.
Oh, okay, that's nice. My friend actually has the vehicle from Supernatural. He rebuilt it. It's just he hasn't painted it yet, because painting costs a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he has a 1967 Chevy Impala, which is the vehicle from Supernatural. It's blue though. He's trying to get it painted black soon. So
Trust me, I know after the accident that these paint jobs cost a fortune.
yeah, they really do.
Matter of fact, my vehicle goes in July 6th, so right after your show.
Right
My
after my
vehicle
birthday
goes,
too.
and and I'm sure they're going to keep it for about 3 or 4 weeks. And it's like, I'm going to be carless for 3 or 4 weeks. I'm going to go insane. I'm not going to know what to do. I'll be begging people for help. Hey, come get me. Let's go do something.
I was out without a vehicle from late January until mid-April. I had no vehicle. It was in the shop for that long, and I had to borrow rides, ask my parents for their vehicle. It was not the best, and I absolutely hated it. So I feel bad for anybody who has to even go a week or 2 weeks without a vehicle. So
Well, the one thing that got me confused is like they take the vehicle in and they told me like, yeah, we have to keep it while we order your parts. And it's like, why do you have to keep it? Why can I not use it? That doesn't make sense to me. But I
yeah.
don't know if it's a deal with the insurance company where they have to just hold on to it until they fix it, or so I don't know about that. And it's like, oh, good Lord. I'm going to be dreading July. No vehicle July is what
Yeah.
I'm going to call it.
I'm looking forward to July. So
Well, I'm looking forward to the first week of July.
uh,
The first weekend, let's put it that way. After that, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, tell us more about your show. Is there going to be any special activities or?
So we have the Megami Maids coming out. They
Mhm.
were at our convention last year. It was really great getting them to come out. So this year they're coming out again, and they have I gave them a bigger space than last year because last year only 10,000 square feet. They had a small little room, but we had a kitchen, so they were able to cook on site. So this year again, there's a kitchen in the convention center, and I put them next to it, and they have way more space than they did last year. So they're going all out. That we've had a couple meetings already where they're like, I showed them the space and they were just, this is all of our space. I was like, yeah, you get this whole entire area, and they're like, we're gonna do something amazing with this much amount of space. They couldn't stop thinking of ideas. So they'll be there, and actually sometime this week will be on our website and on our social media. As you follow us, we'll be posting how you can reserve a free table, because they'll have a table spot for reservations, and you can get, it'll be hourly. You can get that table spot. That I think there'll be 6 chairs there, so you can either get one chair for yourself and meet new people, or get 6 of your friends to get it. And that to reserve the space is free. So we did it last year and it worked out really well. So we're doing it again this year. So we can't wait for that. Um,
Well, I have
we
to
also,
ask.
yes.
Do they have a menu?
Yeah, not yet. The menu
Okay.
will be out probably. I think last year we did it around the 25th, so probably around the same time again last year. We'll get the menu out, and it will be there. And last year, oh, it was great. They had like 3 different flavored drinks. They were amazing. I only got to have one because running around and stuff. And they made a brownie cookie, I believe is what they did. So, and it was so soft, and that was really great too. And when I'm upset, I smelt it the whole entire day because it's in the convention center last year. It was in the main room for us. It was their curry and rice, and it smelled so good. I never got any of it. I'm so
Hmm.
sad. I really wanted some, and they had people in their line because they did, you can pick up and go, or you can stay and hang out. So you don't have to get a table and sit down and eat with them, but you can pick up your food and walk around. So they'll probably have those two options again this year. I think I shouldn't be saying that. Maybe they won't, but if they do, they do. So
You never know.
you never know. So they make some really good stuff, and with the possibility of having a kitchen, who knows what they're going to be making this year.
Yeah, just the sound of curries just making my stomach rumble.
Yeah, it smelled so good. And it was one of those like family a secret recipe or something. They're like, "Oh, this is my mother's recipe. She taught me how to make it. So I'm making it for this." And I was like, "It smells delicious. I want some."
Yes, I think we actually went to a curry place after. God, all these convention names are killing me. The Corpus Christi show. I'm just going to put Corpus Christi show.
Mhm.
I went to a curry place that was right down from the hotel, and it was excellent. But I love curry and love just curry itself. And it's like people are like, "Curry? You eat curry? Don't you know that's hot?" And it's like, "No, it's not." I've
Speaking
had I've
of
had hot curry before.
well, speaking about food and stuff, not only will we have the maids there who will be serving their food, we also have a couple food trucks coming out for Saturday and Sunday. We have drawing a blank. I know their name. I go with my friends. There's easy to remember. We have Snow Bros. We had them last year there. They're really good friends of ours, so we had them come out. They'll be selling snow cones because you can't. I mean, it's middle of July. I mean, not middle of July. It's in July. We're in Texas. It's hot,
I see.
icy. Yeah, so they'll have snow cones. We also have foreign policy. That's the other one. They'll be coming out, and they have a different kind of fusions. I've had their stuff like 3 or 4 years ago, and one of the things they had was their big thing was a donut burger. It was a burger on two donuts things. It was pretty good, very surprising.
No, that ain't that's a heart attack.
It definitely is. I didn't eat it. I got it for somebody else so they could try it. And then I took a bite of theirs. I didn't want to eat the whole thing because I was like, I feel like if I eat that, I'm going to have to go to the hospital or something. That's just a lot. But it was delicious. And I
It's
didn't want to put it down.
it sounds good as hell, but that is
Mhm.
definitely a heart attack.
Then we have one more, and I forget their name because we're still working on getting their information all the way out. But I can announce them because we approved it, and it was soul food. They'll be selling. I think that's what they're doing. They're doing soul food. So we'll have those food trucks for them Saturday, and then I think the same ones on Sunday, except for the snow cone. And we'll also have Okashi Houston. I think that's what they're called. Their snack truck. They're down here in Pearland, which is like real close to me. We got them to come out to bring their snack truck out, and they have a bunch of different Japanese snacks, candies, and chips and everything. I need to ask if they have shrimp chips because I love shrimp chips, and if they do, I'm just gonna buy those.
That actually, I love shrimp. Shrimp is one of my faves.
Mm-hmm.
Shrimp and alligator. Those are. So yeah, I do like the Cajun food too. I think last night I had a shrimp mushroom Alfredo pizza.
Ooh,
Yeah,
sounds delicious.
it
From
was
where?
pretty damn good. I'll tell you that secret place later.
Okay, okay.
uh, there are certain places they just get too packed, and it's like before long you're going to have to start making reservations to get to some of these places.
No, I know. I live in a small town ish, and there's a lot of restaurants. I call them the hidden gems of the town. So we don't tell everyone about them because we
Mhm.
like them. We're the people that live there. We want to go to them. We don't want other people going there and taking up all the space.
Yeah, especially the hole in the wall places.
Yes, especially the hole in the wall places. The more it looks like it's a house and not a restaurant, the better the food tastes.
Yes, yes. Actually, there's one up here where I live, and it's like they have great food. They don't. It's a hole in the wall, but they don't have many people that work there, so they just start getting overabundance crowded. It's like even our waitress, and this was with just us there, was actually helping cook. So I mean, that's how small some of these places are, and it can be hectic for them. And a
Yeah.
lot of people don't understand that. It's like, look, it's taking a while for the food, but look, our waitress is helping cook. There's four of us and only two of them.
It's funny because when I go to other conventions outside of the city, like San Antonio or Dallas or Austin, anywhere else, I usually go with my best friend Drew, who's also my partner for this convention, and we'll either ask locals, like if we find a local at the convention, like, oh, you're from this area, what's good? Because we know what online says is the best restaurant, but we want to know what the locals say is the best restaurant. And so we'll try. We'll always try new restaurants, and we haven't done that in a while. I really want to try some new restaurants here.
Well, you know, ours is in Livingston,
Okay.
which is going to actually be January 13th and 14th.
All right.
So come on by for our show. And I
Definitely.
mean, it's a small town. Livingston is a decently small town, but you got Lake Livingston, and I know some of the restaurants up there, and one of them I can't wait to get back to, and they have a lot of Cajun food as well. But
Mm.
I think that's Manny's, but they also do the fried catfish, and they have Catfish King, which is right across the street from the Commerce Center. I mean, tons of great restaurants out there.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of restaurants, I got to start going to get my sponsors as well.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
hoping.
we still got a lot of time.
Yeah, you got a lot of time. I'm hoping next year we'll have more sponsors. Because I just assume as we grow and have a good reputation and more stuff under our belt, they'll be like, okay, yeah, we'll try. So.
Definitely. And like I said, we have a small space, so it's hard for us. I mean, I've actually been getting emails like, "Hey, we have this person interested in your show. We have this person interested in your show," and some of them are from WWF days,
Yeah.
and it's like, I think we actually had the Honky Tonk Man reach out to us,
Wow.
and it's like we just had another one reach out to us, and it's like, people, we have such a small space. We have our guests already. I mean, we love that you're reaching out, but
Yeah, we've once we reached our limit for our voice actors and our guest lineup, we've had a lot of them reach out still. Hey, we're so and so looking to come. I'm like, I'm sorry, right now we're full, but if anyone comes off, we'd love to have you. But we'll definitely think about you for next year, so we'll put you down for
yes,
that. So
yes, that's what we have been telling all of them. And it's like, I'm going to have to reach back out after this show and say, okay, who do we want for year two?
yeah,
And
definitely, definitely.
that's going to be a headache process.
Hmm.
Now, how many other shows are actually between yours and now?
Now, let's see. So in Houston, there's a couple other stuff going on. There's this weekend, I think there's a food truck festival that's going on, and then the next weekend after that, there's Tokyo Night Festival. Then there's
Tokyo Night Festival, is that the one that had to shut down last year because of the weather?
I I think so, but this year they're NRG, so they don't have to
Okay.
worry about the weather. I think that's the one that had to shut down because of the weather last year.
Hmm.
There that's going on. I think there's one more between that the last weekend and us, and I cannot remember it.
Actually, when Tokyo Night Fest was going on, I think there were three shows at the exact same time.
Oh yeah.
One was a gaming,
Mhm.
Tokyo Night Fest, and was that the same weekend as Anime Texas?
I think so. Yeah, I
So yeah,
believe.
so there were three shows going on at once that weekend.
Hmm.
That's, Houston is big, but when you have that many festivals, I mean,
It's
that can still take away from some of the other shows.
yeah. Yeah, there is a saturation going on with conventions.
There are over 30 in Houston this year. Over 30.
That's a lot.
That is a ton. And that's why I'm having so much trouble keeping up with some of the names of these shows. And it's like, because you said Tokyo Night Fest, and I was thinking the Tokyo 10 or Tokyo X, which was 2 weeks ago, actually. So it's like, it gets confusing.
Yeah, it does a little bit. Um,
And I know yours is the same as Delta H, but y'all have actually talked with each other. And
yes, yes, that was. I remember I was at Delta H last year, and I was doing a couple panels there, and I flipped over the badge, and I was like, and I was with Drew, and I was like, hey man, I was like, these dates look familiar, and he was like, oh, and I was like, yeah. Uh-oh. I was like, these are the same dates. And I was like, but they're like I said, Houston's so huge and there's
yeah,
only two of us. They're on one side closer to Katy. We're on this side closer to
yes,
this side of Pasadena and stuff. So I believe there's enough weebs in the Houston area and surrounding area for both conventions to do very well. And
yes,
they did reach out and we did email each other and we talked about for next year and how we're not going to be on the what dates do you typically try to stay to? We try to stay to the first weekend of July. So they were like, "Oh, don't worry, we're moving out of that. We're gonna go somewhere else." So,
And the reason for all this, a lot of the dates, is because Comic Palooza this year moved
hmm,
back to their original date when
yep,
everybody was thinking that they were still going to be a summer show.
yep. That's what I heard too.
So
So,
that is a lot of the reason why all these dates got changed.
yeah. So,
So if people are curious why, I think Conroe changed from August to March.
hmm,
That's half the reason why they changed. Half the reason. Uh, Delta H, I think they're moving back to closer to when they were original dates.
hmm. I think so. Yes.
And like they, it really confused a lot of people with the dates.
Yeah.
And they're going to be moving again for next year, not Comic Palooza, but everybody will be moving back towards original dates.
Yeah.
And a matter of fact, we had to move our show
Ah.
because Collecticon decided to move into Houston,
Oh.
which took our exact dates.
Oh man.
And it's like there's no way to compete with Collecticon.
Definitely.
Not when
What?
they have a huge 20 guest lineup, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, we're not doing that.
Well, what's funny is when we're, I think I have an ad currently going out right now. I'll get a lot of people going, "Oh, this is the same day as Anime Expo. Oh, this is the same day as Anime Expo. Oh, I want to go to this. It'd be easier to go to this in Pasadena than go to Anime Expo." And then I'm like, "This is Pasadena, Texas. This is not Pasadena, California." I was like, "This is It says it everywhere. It says because that was the big thing when we first were starting to work with announcements and stuff. Drew was like, make sure you put TX on
Mm-hmm.
everything because
Mm-hmm.
we don't want people thinking we're in California. I was like, you're right. And I did have I've had someone buy a ticket, reach out to me, go, I thought this was in California. This is my fault. I see that's posted everywhere. And so I worked with him, getting him his refund. I was like, no, I understand. I get it. so we've had that happen a lot. And it's really funny when people are like, this is the same day as Anime Expo. I'm like, we're in Texas. We're not going to affect each other.
And it is confusing because it's like we're at the Polk County Commerce Center.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my biggest concerns is one of the other places that's well known is Polk County, Florida.
Ah,
So it's like I'm going to have to do the same thing as you, make sure everything says Texas.
yep. And even if it does, you're still going to get a few.
Mm, no. And it's going to be a headache for sure.
Mm-hmm. But that's what comes with running a convention.
Yes, yes, yes. And like I said, a lot of people don't know the insides. Some of them they think they do. Some of them are volunteering and actually learning the insides and saying, "Oh my God, I didn't know that there was so much."
Yes. uh, definitely great to my staff that is helping me year round, or since we planned the second one, because last year we had a staff of 4. It was just me, Drew, Angelique, and then towards the end of right before, like 3 months before the first year, we got Cam, and they were all helpful doing different things because it's very much spinning plates is how I described it. You're sitting there with
Mhm.
sticks and you're spinning plates and you're spinning plates and you're spinning plates. And definitely anytime I can get somebody else to come help on and take a couple plates away and they spin them themselves, it's great. And then so this year we got Lynn and we had another friend reach out who wanted to help out too, and we got Scott. So now we went from a team of 4 to a team of 6. So definitely that's really great. I'm hoping to keep expanding that too because it's a lot.
Yes, yes, it is. And I admire a lot of these convention coordinators who do all this.
Mhm.
And this is my first year show, and it's like there's just my mind is being fried, and I'm still 6, 7 months out.
Yes. Definitely. So I owe a lot of the accomplishment to putting this on, or at least the know-how of putting it on more, I should say, is my background experience. I have now actually, because today is the 8th, so 2 days ago, actually 3 days ago, I'm 6 years of working in event planning and coordinating because I work for the city I live in. I worked as the event coordinator for a lot of our big events and stuff. And so I knew how to talk to vendors because one of our biggest show, we had like 90 to 100 vendors come out. And so I knew how to set that up. And I'm used to running programs for it because I work for the parks department and I work for making all these different things. So I had a lot of background experience. So I knew how to do some of the stuff, not all of it, but some.
Yeah. Now here's the question: how much are tickets?
So tickets right now are $20 online. We also have a con T-shirt bundle, which we did last year too. It's $30, and you get the Baycon T-shirt, and then you also get a weekend pass. And then we have a family 4 pass, which is $65. It's 3 badges, and then you get 1 free. So it's a family 4-pack. And I think those are all our prices right now. And then at the door, the price for a weekend pass will increase to $30. And then on Sunday, we will sell a 1-day pass in case there's people who just wanted to come for Sunday as $10. So that's fine. And kids 8 and under are free. So that's where we're there for that. With those passes, though, at our convention, we'll also have a card game tournament and a video game tournament, which were 2 things we didn't have last year. But now with the space, we were able to grow and get that. And we've partnered with Nebula Gaming for our card game tournament, and they're doing box tournaments. That's what they want to do all night. all weekend. They want to do box tournaments. They're going to do a Digimon new box tournament. They're going to do the new Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings draft tournament, and they're going to do a Pokemon TCG Learn How to Play event, which will be an all-day event. You have to purchase a deck, and they'll teach you how to play, which is great. I think Pokemon's a really great. That was one of my first card games I think I learned. And then on Sunday they'll do a One Piece box 3 tournament. On all those prices are on our website because they're all different prices. And then we also have our video game tournament, which when I partnered with the game guys to do this. They were like, "Oh, this is the perfect time for you." I was like, "Oh, why?" And they're like, "Street Fighter 6 is coming out," and I was like, "Okay, cool." So we'll have a Street Fighter 6 double elimination tournament. I think we'll have one at 12, and then we have one. I thought we have another one. I think we're having multiple ones. I'm not sure. And then we'll have obviously. We can't have a convention without Super Smash Brothers, so we're definitely having a Super Smash Brothers tournament and a Guilty Gear tournament. And then on Sunday, we're doing a Halo 3 tournament. And I'm pretty sure there'll also be free play, casual play going on the whole time. So we have both of those going on. We partnered, like I said, with Game Guys and Nebula Gaming, which has been real great. They've been working really well with us. So we just actually, I think, announced that this week or last week. So we've been working on that for a while now.
Cool. And they can purchase at www.
Bacon.live. So it's BA-CON.live. You can purchase all of that and also register for the video game tournament because they have a Star GG pre-registration they would like to do before the convention starts. They know how much and how everyone's coming, and that one, all the video game tournaments are all cash prizes too. So that's always good.
Very nice. And again, reminder, if you're a cosplayer, you need to register online as well.
We have a pre-registration for that too going on right now. That would definitely make our cosplay coordinator, Lynn, very, very happy to see more and more people register for that. they would love
sure.
that.
And is there anything else you do want to announce before we head out tonight?
Let me see. Talked about the maids, talked about our concert, of course. How could I forget?
There we go.
I completely forgot. So we'll have on Saturday night, we call it Bacon at Night, and it will be our concert. It technically, I think, starts at 8 with our guest Decon Rapper. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He'll be there. He has his performance. He'll do his, and then it'll go right into the next one, which we have. We're still lining up people for that, but who we have DJ Rockman. He's from the Austin area, I believe. He's really great. I met him at San Japan, which I love San Japan. It was a great convention. And then we'll have Houston native Oni Mello. They will be doing their. We had them last year, so they're definitely coming back this year again. And then we just got. Rosie, I remember the name. They will also be coming. I actually heard them on the radio originally, and the song that was being played, I was like, this is talking about My Hero Academia in the song. I was like, this is about All Might. And I was like, do the normie people know this is a song about anime? So I was like, I have to get them. They're a very good rock band. I love their music. And they're also in the Houston area too, so they'll be coming in. They'll be playing at that, and we'll have a full lineup coming up later. But that's who we have for now. And the concert will be great. It'll start at 8 p.m. It is 18 plus because language. You never know what they're going to say when they're singing or what kind of music's going to be playing. I think last year we said it was 13 plus. Oh no, we said 18. I think we said 18 plus last year, and I made that announcement at the cosplay contest, and we're at. Because I knew one of the people that was singing was going to sing a song it's called Multiple Dicks, and he was going to be singing that. And there's these like 6-year-olds standing next to me. I'm like, we announced this was 18 plus. Like we weren't going to check, but the parents brought them, and they stood there and they loved and they clapped, they sung along, and I was like, all right. I was like, but this year we're definitely going to be checking and making sure that everyone that's coming in is at least 18 plus. We got lucky that no one was offended or no one was upset about it. So that was really great. There's one more. His name is Rex. I forget what he calls his band, but he will also be there. He was there last year. So if you're at our convention last year, he performed last year. So he'll be back again with his band. That is our concert, which will be really fun. And all you got to do is purchase a ticket for the event, for the convention to be able to go to that. Like I said, they're
Awesome.
$20 right now.
Go get them, people.
Go get them.
But I want to thank you for coming onto the show.
Thank you. I want to thank you for
And,
having me.
and I want to thank our listeners who've been watching with us patiently, and to let everybody know we had AnchorCon that was scheduled last Thursday, but because of me getting hit by the basically, if people don't know, the chemo, when it hits you and it affects you, it is like being run over by a Mack truck. And that's why we had to postpone last week's show, but they will be here next Thursday. And we
Mm-hmm.
look forward to having AnchorCon on, and they are up in Clayton, New York. So we will talk to everybody next week. Next Tuesday, I have two conversations as well. Like I said, I've been out and about, or down and out, rather, not out and about. Ah, my words. Two conversations. I should be on for both of those, which will be another two authors. And guys, if you're missing the conversation, jump on those shows. These authors are great. They, you never know, and we go down rabbit holes with them too. But you learn about them, you learn about their books, like I said. And today, thank you for being on our show, and
Thank you for having me.
we will catch everybody on Tuesday of next week. This is Greg, and we are out.